Hi, I'm Sheri DeMaris. Welcome to Macro Magic. Today I have a really special guest, and actually she was my cooking teacher, Susan Waxman from the Philadelphia area. She actually is the founder and the instructor for the Strengthening Health Institute in Philadelphia, sometimes called the SHI. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you, Sheri. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And I'm so excited because we're going to do a nice springtime dish.
Yes.
Something that is one of your signature dishes that is in your cookbook coming out soon, and we'll discuss that later in the show. For now, you want to explain your dish and what you'll be making today?
Okay, this is basically a sweet and sour beet salad, and what I chose were two different types of beets. So here we have a golden beet. There's some golden beets over here, very beautiful. I prepped these in advance, and here we have some red beets. The combination is very, very pretty. The golden beets take on a little bit of the red color, and the red beets just stay like beautiful and red. And then it's very, very simple. You can do two things. You could either start it off by using some red onions in the dish and sauteing red onions with a little bit of toasted sesame oil. Then layering the beets in the dish. I like to use this cast iron pan because it's just like the perfect size. And
so you use toasted sesame oil, which is different from olive oil or sesame oil. How is toasted sesame oil?
Because it's derived from a sesame seed, so it's like cold pressed sesame seeds that have been toasted a little bit. That's why you get like a little bit of the dark color here. It has a very rich, nutty, aromatic flavor, and just like kind of brings that extra, I don't know what to say,
zing
to the dish. And it actually pairs very, very well with olive oil. Combining the two. So I have an organic olive oil here as well, and this is also one of the first pressings.
And what I love about your classes is that you teach us so much about different olive oils, and to go and taste them and try them, make sure they're organic, and use them in a variety of ways, not just as dressings.
Yeah, that's right. And as I said before, the combination of the toasted oil together with the olive oil just really brings out a very beautiful, rich flavor. So we start off with a little bit of the toasted oil in the bottom of the pan. As I said, you could saute the onions first, or you could simply just add the beets, the red beets on the bottom, the yellow beets go on top, and then a little bit of water. And this is just like so simple to make. I mean, it'll be done in almost 15 minutes.
So it's interesting you use red onion, not white onion. Is there a reason why for that?
I don't know, I guess I just stuck with the color theme, red.
And then the yellow beets and red beets. And you'll find these beautiful organic beets in local health food stores and farmers markets. And they're not always red. Those
are the golden beets.
The golden beets, okay.
When you cut into it, then it gets like this big, kind of like yellow.
So it actually looks yellow after you take the skin off.
Yes.
Okay. And then I see that you're going to put tofu in this dish.
We'll make some tofu cheese. If you want, maybe we can just show how to do that a little bit later, or whenever you want me to do that. I have a little bit of brown rice syrup here, so that's the sweetness. In macrobiotic cooking, we try to use grain quality sweeteners, or in some cases like fruit sweeteners or maple syrup. So this is an organic brown rice syrup that we'll be using. And then the sour can come from two different places. You can choose whichever you like better. So if you want citrus, then lemon works really well. Otherwise, you can finish this off with a little bit of brown rice vinegar at the end, and that's hence the sweet.
So these are all some new ingredients for the viewers. Brown rice syrup is a wonderful sweetener, just cooked down rice, brown rice, and you can find it in your local health food store as well. And then Susan mentioned the brown rice vinegar, organic brown rice vinegar, and you have one other vinegar, umeboshi vinegar?
This is umeboshi vinegar. It's from a fermented pickled, actually it's an apricot, I believe. I don't think it's technically a plum. And it's the only savory vinegar, so it makes it very unique. It's a Japanese product, and I don't think there are any other savory vinegars that I know of.
So mostly vinegars are very acidic.
Yeah.
You know, they're fruit and fig or whatever. So this is made from the umeboshi plum. And again, you can find it in your health food store, local Whole Foods market.
Yeah, this one has a more alkalizing effect, actually. And whatever you season it with, like the tofu, for example, we crumble the tofu with our hands and then use the umeboshi vinegar to make tofu cheese-like type topping. It tastes similar to like feta cheese.
So after the break, we're going to make some tofu cheese. And I see mint over there. You're going to add mint to the dish?
We can add this either as fresh garnish. Otherwise, you could top it off and finish it off if you want to with like a little bit of minced mint. I wouldn't recommend adding it like immediately because the color from the beets will just make the mint look kind of dirty.
So basically, you're taking a cast iron pot, you're sauteing the onion, and then you're adding the beets.
That's correct.
Simmering them until they're tender, and then seasoning them with some of the vinegars.
Right. At the end, it'll be finished off with like olive oil. Then we simmer a little bit longer, and then we add rice syrup and allow the rice syrup to go in there and like really coat the beets nicely. And then at the very end, the sour part will be lemon and the brown rice vinegar.
Oh, this is going to be really exciting. You know, it's so many different flavors, which is what I love in your dishes, the sweet, the savory, the sour. So you feel more satisfied than just boiling a bowl of beets and trying to eat those, especially in the springtime.
Well, incidentally, now that you mentioned springtime, so beets are really one of those vegetables that help bring the blood out to the surface, which is what we want because everything's starting to open up at springtime. You know, you have like the buds on the branches and then eventually like leaves pop through and flowers. But also in Oriental medicine, different seasons correlate with different organ systems in pairs. And so the organ pairing system for the springtime is the liver and gallbladder. And then also each organ system and season comes with a particular taste. So the taste for springtime is actually sweet and like mildly, sour, which is very helpful to detoxify our liver and gallbladder and just, again, like open our energy up so that we're ready for warm weather to come in the summer.
So oftentimes in the supermarket, you'll find drink cleanses, and a lot of people like to do those during the springtime because they've eaten a lot of heavy food over the holidays and they feel really burdened down. So to have that sweet, sour taste to your food is what Susan's saying actually relieves the pressure off the liver and makes you feel more light and buoyant for spring.
That's right.
So when we come back from break, we're going to see what your beet salad looks like, and we're going to make some tofu cheese.
Shelter dogs aren't broken. They've simply experienced more life. If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write. The ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart. We are temple made. And when others take shortcuts, when others take breaks, when others take the easy way, we take charge.
I work 13 hours a day, 6 days a week. So when I'm off the clock, I gotta get stuff done. So when I need a snack, I need something healthy, tasty, and easy to eat. Like wonderful pistachios without the shells. They're protein-powered, delicious, and great on the go. And that's perfect for me.
Thanks, Liz.
A woman without a lot of time.
Whether you're a gourmet cook or just want to eat like one, visit Rostelli Market Fresh, your home for the freshest, locally sourced ingredients to please everyone who loves great food. Our organic meats, quality seafood, and free-range poultry are cut fresh to order. Chefs create culinary-inspired prep foods made fresh every day, which pair nicely with our vast selection of fine wines and spirits. Choose from handmade pastas, artisan cheeses, organic produce, and grocery items, all from the finest purveyors. Rostelli Market Fresh, from our family to yours.
RVN TV is a platform for people of any industry to share their story. Over 285,000 viewers are tuning in to RVN TV shows monthly. We guarantee a great experience that you'll be sharing with everyone you know while increasing your personal and company's brand awareness. But what is your brand? According to Forbes, it's a combination of your logo, your product, your design and feel, and your personality. Did you know that aside from being a guest, we offer even more opportunity to boost your brand? Adding your company logo and website on screen during your interview will allow viewers to recognize your brand instantly. Incorporating images and video clips is another great way to showcase your product during your live segment. Let viewers see how good you really are. And most importantly, there's you and your interview. For less than the cost of a newspaper, direct mail, or a magazine ad, you can leave our studio and within 48 hours have a permanent digital copy of your live segment to link to your social media, embed into your company website, or use in email marketing. Investing in your brand is so very important, and we can't wait to have you as a guest.
Shelter dogs aren't broken. They've simply experienced more life. If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write, the ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart. We are temple made. And when others take
Hi, we're back with Susan Waxman from the Strengthening Health Institute, and we talked about how to prep the beet salad. Now we're going to look at the finished product and see how she makes the tofu cheese.
Okay, so you're going to take some organic tofu, and this is just the most simple thing that anybody can do this.
And so many times people ask me, what do I do with tofu? It has no flavor. I like to try eating it, but how do I make it taste good? It's simple.
It just takes on the flavor of whatever you season with it, whether it's soy sauce or salt. Mustard is great with tofu. It's great in soups, like sauces. You can actually make pasta sauces that it makes like creamy. And that's kids like that a lot.
Yeah, so you can use it a lot of ways.
Yes.
Make sure to rinse it when you take it out of the water.
Okay, so we have a tofu block here. I guess I'll use both of them here. And all you're doing is you're going to crumble. So you get your first crumble right like that. And then while you crumble, you're just going to start sprinkling a little bit of the umeboshi vinegar. Now, the tendency for a lot of people is to just like really squeeze, but that's not what you want to do. You want to think feta cheese, not ricotta, okay? So there is a difference. And we're just going to do this a little bit more.
And this is really awesome to put in green salads. So instead of eating the heavy, salty, fatty cheeses, you can have some light tofu and just seasoned with umeboshi vinegar.
Yeah, tofu is a very unique product and has just like so many different health benefits. Actually, this is done. We're done here. So I'll just wipe off my hands.
So tofu, yes, has so many health benefits, such as?
It's very helpful, well, besides being satisfying, it's very helpful to discharge past animal foods. Very helpful to relax reproductive organs, and where that would be significant is like some male reproductive problems like prostate cancer, which is kind of on the rise and hitting a lot of younger men, that's when it gets really scary. But it's also very helpful for women too. One of the problems with fertility is that the reproduction organs get like too tight, and women's not like relaxed enough. So tofu is very, very helpful.
And I know sometimes with people with breast cancer, they're afraid of soy products, but tofu's different in that it's not a real processed soy. It's more of an aged soy, so it's a little bit safer than.
It actually can help, and really helps with menopausal symptoms. This helps, us get like some good quality estrogens, and at the same time, again, keeps us more relaxed.
So very simple, easy
Yep.
dish for tofu, and then you want to explain your finished beet salad, which looks delicious.
So what I did for camera purposes, instead of sauteing the onions, I actually pickled them. So this umeboshi vinegar, because it is a savory vinegar, it's really great to make pickles. And you can pickle something in a matter of, if you want it to be more of a more intense flavor, then 3 hours minimum to overnight. But you can actually pickle things like cucumbers really quickly, or red onion, and brings the color out and takes a little bit of that pungent edge off the onion. So what I did was I marinated these onions overnight in a little mixture of 3 parts water and 1 part umeboshi vinegar. And that way it maintains the color, and I mean, that's an option too. You can vary this dish in different ways. The pickles are great.
So she added pickled red onion, which she pickled overnight in the umeboshi vinegar.
That's
and
correct.
Water, and mixed in the cooked beets and the tofu cheese.
And it's resting actually on the top of baby arugula. And that's so the baby arugula is on the bottom, you put the beets on the top.
It's a beautiful dish.
And very colorful,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because we do eat with our eyes first. And if something doesn't look so beautiful, it's just I don't know.
So Susan, tell me more about what you do at the Strengthening Health Institute. I know from experience of taking your classes, it's a lot about learning the energy of various illnesses, and then the energy of food, and how to remedy some of, anything, asthma, arthritis, Crohn's disease, a whole litany of, health issues with changing your diet.
That's correct. A lot of people that come for a class, well, first of all, we have classes that you can take in 2 different ways. A lot of our courses are offered online, and that's a really neat way to learn a lot of theory, because you can always hit the pause button, you can rewind, you can view that as many times as you want to, and that's been very, very successful because of a lot of our students seem to grasp the philosophical side of the teachings of macrobiotics, because really macrobiotics is more of a lifestyle that we embrace. Really trying to align our energy with nature's energy, hence beets, because nature's energy right now, we're talking spring, and it's coming out and rising. And then together with that, when we have our on-site classes, then we do all kinds of things where we'll study, facial diagnosis or posture diagnosis. We study the meridian system, which the meridian system are the invisible, more or less, pathways of energy that flow through our body. And then we also study cooking, and food energetics is a really big thing. What type of energy do you want? Do you sit at a desk all day? Do you engage in sports activities? Do you have a big family? Do you have a smaller family? All that comes into play when you're really planning things. Because children eat a little bit differently than, they're still growing their bodies, and that as adults, we're not really growing our bodies anymore. Hopefully we're growing our consciousness. So, you know, like, and a lot of adults are not quite as active as children are. Children can eat things and just like discharge that and, you know, like move on. Where we, you know, like if we eat something that doesn't agree with us, you know, we may feel a little bit sluggish the next day.
So we can look online, take courses online. You can take courses in person.
Face to face, yes.
Face to face. And then also there's a counseling element where if you have a certain illness or health issue, health challenge, you can come in and get some macrobiotic counseling.
Yes, I mean, we see a lot of people, anywhere from people, again, with fertility problems, to people with like that just want weight loss or better energy. One of my first clients that I ever cooked for were kids that he wanted to enhance his sports abilities. And they were distance runners and rode like the little BMX bikes, things like that too.
So a whole
but,
litany of, and you know,
Yeah.
changing your energy through food and understanding of food. So in addition to the Strengthening Health Institute, which you help run and teach, you also run some trips, I understand too. An exciting new trip coming up.
Yes, we're going to do our first macrobiotic healthy vacation. It's going to take place in Costa Rica at a beautiful resort, Tabacon. And we chose the rainforest because we thought that might be just like a little bit more interesting. You know, like hot springs
Yes,
all over the
I'm
place.
there.
Zip lining, I don't know if I'm going to do that or anything. Maybe not my thing, but a hot spring is definitely my thing. And we work together with the chef there, so I won't personally be doing the cooking. However, I worked and designed a whole menu that's geared towards macrobiotics, but also using traditional recipes like that would be foods that they would normally serve in Costa Rica. So for example, every morning, you know, like you will get like the rice and beans that they have, lots of fresh fruits, fresh fruit juices, different vegetables, I think, you know.
So you've got the trip, you've got the SHI Institute, and you have a book coming out. Before we end the show, I just want to hear real quick what your book, the title of your book is.
The Ultimate Guide to Eating for Longevity, and we are very, very excited about this book. I think I added at least like 40 new recipes to the book.
So that will be coming out in August.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks, Susan, for joining us.
Thank you,
Join
Sheri.
us next episode for Macro Magic.